Joe Hopkins here with another episode of Joe Likes Beer, because Joe does indeed like beer. This is the show that gives me an excuse to drink a beer. And that's what I'm going to do. Today I've got Narragansett. If the name is at all familiar, it's because you live in the Northeast or you've read a few Stephen King books. Everybody in Stephen King's novels drinks Narragansett beer. It's because it's a northern beer, right? So, yeah. Let's see. Made on honor. The famous Narragansett since 1890. It's a long time to be making beer. Sold on merit. Lager. This is 16 fluid ounce, 1 pint can. Narragansett Brewing Company, Rochester, New York. Yeah, way up north. It's a Yankee beer. It says, "Hi neighbor, have a Gansett." Well, let's have a Gansett, see if it's any good. I used to see this for sale when I'd visit my aunt and cousins up in Boston, or outside of Boston, from North Attleboro. Remember the Sam Adams commercial? You know, it's your cousin from Boston. Well, I have a cousin from Boston, so. And that is, that's pretty good. That's pretty much like, that's a lager. What can I say? A lager's a lager's a lager, isn't it? Isn't this something like that? They all taste pretty much similar, and this is a good one. That is pretty good. Let's see. Recycle aluminum ball. They don't just make jars, they make cans too. Okay. It's my ball. It's made by Ball. Is it my balls? Is it your balls? It's a ballsy can. Yeah, it's made in Rochester, New York, but I used to see it for sale all the time up in the Boston area. Have any of you guys ever been to the Boston area? I haven't been there in a long time. My cousin has to go up there for a funeral, I think. One of the relatives that she's related to that I'm not, right? Other side of her family. And she brought my wife and my daughter with her. They're all up there. I got to go to work, you know, so not today. I'm not drinking and going to work, but tomorrow, I've been having to work while they're up there, and I hope they're having a good time. I haven't been to New England in a very long time. If I remember right, way back when, the traffic patterns would constantly change in the Boston area. You could never find your way anywhere, because once you found it once, next time, it's different. I've heard that that's stopped since they finished, updating their whole waterfront area, which I hear is really nice. They were like, fixing it all up in the 80s and 90s and making it real nice down there, which is probably why it kept changing. And they've also, from what I heard, remodeled Fenway Park, made it new. Right, of course they kept the big green monster in the outfield. I wouldn't know. I've been to see games at Fenway in the 80s and early 90s, but I haven't been to Fenway Park. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a long time. I think the last game I saw there was 1990. I always liked Fenway. Great park. They shouldn't be updating this stuff. The only real original ballpark left is, I think, Wrigley Field, Since Yankee Stadium's gone, they got the new Yankee Stadium now. Why do you need a new one? Why do they keep having new stadiums, Except for Baltimore. Going from Memorial Stadium to Camden Yards was definitely an upgrade. That was way better. I've been to Camden Yards, and it's way nicer than the old ballpark was. Although I got a lot of fond memories of Memorial Stadium. Yeah. Plus, when they put in Camden Yards, they put it right on top of the $5 parking lot. because, you know, that's where we used to park if we drive into the city, or at least downtown. We'd drive, park in the $5 parking lot, you know, because it's also easy to get to, right? I grew up off of Washington Boulevard. You take Washington Boulevard right in, and right there on the right, there's a parking lot. It's $5, and you walk over to the Inner Harbor and do whatever. But, you know, it's not there anymore. It's Camden Yards now. They took away the $5 parking to make a beautiful ballpark, but still, I doubt it would still be $5 though, you know? Now that whole area is gentrified. Gentrification, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? There's the real question, because, I mean, it is a question. Everybody, if you live in a city, you've been dealing with gentrification. Fuck gentrification. Yeah. Or maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I know the areas around Camden Yards, Pigtown and whatnot, it used to be kind of sketchy, and now it's not. Now it's expensive, though. I can't afford to live there. Who the hell can afford like $500,000 for a 500 square foot row home? It's ridiculous. That's stupid. Why? Because you can walk to the ballpark? That's dumb. That's too much money. It's retarded. And all the gentrified people are retarded. All of them. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. And I've seen it in city after city of these gentrified areas. They take the old factories and warehouses and turn them into, you know, $700,000 condos, $1 million condos, things like that. It's ridiculous. Who has this kind of money to be gentrified? And this stuff sells. So apparently somebody has this kind of money. Apparently a bunch of people do. And they all want to move back to the city. And it's ridiculous if you ask me. And now it's biting them in the ass, because since COVID, people learned that they can work from home. They're all moving further than even the suburbs, right? The boom right now is for small towns that are within an hour and a half, an hour, 2 hours in there, an hour or two from the city. So you're close enough to do stuff in the city, but you're outside the city. That's where real estate's going now. So all those gentrified areas, they're getting really sketchy again, but they're still expensive. So you spend a bunch of money to live in a sketchy neighborhood. And I mean, it is getting sketchy. Don't tell me it's not, all right? I've been to some of these places. My wife almost got mugged outside of the fucking museum, man. And that's supposed to be a nice neighborhood where we were. If you know Baltimore, like Mount Vernon, like, yeah, you pay $800,000, $1 million plus, $1 million plus to buy a townhome on like Park Avenue, stuff like that, and right around the museum area, right? It's expensive. It's supposed to be like police patrolling this area. It's rich white people shit, and she almost got mugged right outside the museum. It's dumb. It's dumb. That's gentrification for you. It's supposed to be gentrified now. You're not supposed to get mugged there. If I wanted to risk getting mugged, I'd go to a different, I go to a different neighborhood. I know the neighborhoods you're going to get mugged in, right? This isn't one of them. You're not supposed to get mugged in Mount Vernon. Jeez, it's dumb. Is it like that in other cities? I know New York is the big one they talk about with gentrification. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time in New York. I've been there a couple times, but not really my jam. It's kind of far away, and there's nothing there I want to see. So, but I've heard all about it. Is it the same thing where it got real nice and now it's sliding backward again? Because it sure as hell is that way in Baltimore and Washington D.C., where people are. They were moving, the rich people were moving back into the city. Now they're moving back out, right? Since COVID. COVID did a lot of weird things. Have you noticed? Violent crime was on the decline for decades until COVID. COVID hit and everybody started just mugging people. What the fuck, man? Why? What did COVID have to do with you mugging people? You know who you are. You're the muggers. The muggers out there. That's my Gansett. I just drank a Gansett. But what is it with the mugging all of a sudden? Why did COVID do that? It did two things. Two things I've noticed since COVID, right? Violent crime is up. Everybody's robbing each other. And VD has made a huge comeback. There's been epidemics of syphilis and gonorrhea. It's like we all got stuck inside the house for like a year, right? And then decided, I guess everybody went nuts. They all just locked themselves in for a year and then lost their minds. And as soon as COVID was gone, they're like, I'm going to steal and fuck everything I can find. And so everybody's mugging each other and they all have syphilis. They all got the clap. Yeah, AC/DC wrote a song about that. It's called The Jack. She got the jack. Ka-dunk, ka-dunk. She got the jack. Yeah, well, she does have the jack. So you better rap that bastard, because, yeah, a lot of hoes out there. Like I said, especially since COVID, everybody's a gangster and everybody's a whore. What the hell, man? I can't figure that one out. COVID didn't exactly make me want to go rob and screw around. But it did for a lot of people, it would seem. They said there were a lot of divorces. Like the divorce rate went up during and right after COVID. I guess you get locked in a house with your significant other for, a year, and you start to really hate them. I don't know, man. I kind of can see that. I kind of get that one. All right. I don't really get, I don't really get the violent crime being up. COVID makes you want to kill people, jack cars, rob liquor stores. I don't know. It's a little crazy. And the VD epidemic is a little crazy. Right after COVID, there was a serious epidemic of syphilis in the Baltimore area, where like everybody had the clap for a hot minute. I guess it was a hot minute, right? It burns you up, man. I've been told, I personally haven't had it because I got married when I was 22 and I haven't been with anybody else. I got it at home. Why go out to eat when you have perfectly good food in the fridge? You know what I mean? But, some people still want some McDonald's, and apparently if you eat out too much, you get food poisoning. Oh man, chug a pint, get the giggles. That's all I can say. Eat out, get food poisoning. Yeah, you do know if you don't want to eat the fish if it's been left out too long. You know what they say? If it smells like fish, have a dish. If it smells like it's been, setting out on the buffet too long, don't. I've seen that happen. I've gotten food poisoning a few times in my life. Okay, I'm very adventurous as far as culinary concerns go. I have an adventurous palate, and it's gotten me a few times. I'm talking about actual food now, not what I was talking about, which was dicks and pussies. But yeah, don't eat out. You'll get food poisoning. And drink narragansett beer. It's pretty good. I didn't know anybody as far south as I am carried it, but they had it at the liquor store. I'm like, I'll get a Gansett. Yeah, I'll get a 6-pack of that. I'm glad I did. And you should too. And wrap your package and don't rob people, all right? So I'll see you guys next video. I love you all, man. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.